For the bottom line, we turn to Chief Washington correspondent and host of This Week, George Stephanopoulos. Morning to you, George.
Hey, Robin.
So how did she do? She took a lot of tough questions on abortion, gun rights, her temperament. How did you think she did? She did
exactly what she had to do, Robin. As Jan pointed out in her piece, Judge Sotomayor had addressed two major sources of complaint: that she's biased and that she's a bit of a bully. And she answered those in part on the bias question by a tactical retreat. She simply gave up statements she's made in the past, said that she didn't mean to say what people heard, and she pointed those to her record of judicial restraint. She said a record of judicial restraint. On the question of bullying, she answered that with her manner all day long. No matter how many tough questions she got, she stayed even, she stayed calm, she stayed cool. You know, Senator Graham said on Monday that unless she had a meltdown under this questioning, she would be confirmed. She didn't melt down. She didn't make any mistakes.
And one of those tough questions came from Republican Senator John Kyle. I want to play it for you and get your reaction.
Let me ask you about what the president said. Do you agree with him that the law only takes you the first 25 miles of the marathon and that last mile has to be decided by what's in the judge's heart?
No, sir. I wouldn't approach the issue of judging in the way the president does. Judges can't rely on what's in their heart.
How's that for gratitude? She threw the president under the bus right there, but the White House doesn't care at all because they know she ended up on the safe ground where where they want her to be. What's interesting, Robin, is that I think you're actually going to see the Republican senators who want to vote against Sotomayor using the president's reasoning that he used when he voted against Justice Roberts and Justice Alito. He conceded that those justices were qualified. He conceded that they were intelligent. He just disagreed with the direction they would take the court. I think the Republican senators who vote no will use that exact same reasoning, the Obama reasoning.
Well, let's look ahead to today, George. And Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, big speech on foreign policy today, and she went to, let's say, just a few of her friends, or more than a few. What do you make of all this?
Well, you know, there's been some criticism of Secretary Clinton, some wondering, you know, what is her influence? Where has she been? You see that cast there. Part of the reason she's been a little less visible recently is because of that broken elbow. But her supporters and the State Department points out that she's traveled as much in these first 6 months as any Secretary of State, except for Condoleezza Rice. They say there's a lot more travel to come, and that she's been a real force behind the scenes, despite the fact that all of these envoys who will be in the front row of that speech today give the impression that a lot of the foreign policy has been subcontracted.
All right, George. Thanks so much, as always, for the bottom line. You have a good day. Appreciate that.